Let's be real, money stress is brutal. The bills stack up, your paycheck disappears, and every financial goal feels out of reach. And guess what? You're not alone. 75% of people say money is their biggest source of stress. But here's the game changer. Stress itself isn't the enemy. It's how you respond to it that determines your financial future. Most people do the worst possible thing when they're financially stressed. They avoid it. They ignore their bank balance, pretend debt doesn't exist, and spend impulsively just to escape the anxiety. But here's the truth. Your stress is actually your biggest financial weapon. If you use it right, it will push you toward growth instead of keeping you stuck. Step 1. Turn uncertainty into clarity. Stress usually comes from the unknown, so put real numbers to your fears. Is it debt? A low paycheck? No savings? Write it all down. The unknown is scarier than reality, but once you see the actual problem, you can start fixing it. Step 2. Turn panic into a plan. If debt is the problem, focus on the smallest one first. It builds momentum. If income is the issue, find ways to increase your cash flow, negotiate your salary, start a side hustle, sell things you don't need. Every financial problem has a strategy, but only if you face it head-on. Step 3. Turn stress into action. Stress is energy. You can either let it consume you or you can use it as fuel. Successful people don't have less stress. They just channel it differently. Now meet James, 35 years old, drowning in financial anxiety. He had debt, a paycheck that barely covered expenses, and felt like no matter how hard he worked, he was always behind. But instead of letting stress paralyze him, he took control, tracked every dollar, cut unnecessary expenses, and invested just 10% of his income into future growth. 2 years later, he doubled his income, cleared his debt, and finally stopped fearing money, because he controlled it, not the other way around. The takeaway? Financial stress isn't a stop sign, it's a wake-up call. Use it. Don't fear it. Because the moment you take control, financial growth follows.